And welcome back to the hot stage. We are talking the WRC World Rally Championship Round 1 finally kicks off less than a week to go in Monte Carlo. They've had the live event on the 17th of January where they pretty much opened the season. All the cars are looking good. All the drivers are looking somewhat refreshed because let's be fair, wasn't that long time ago for Saudi Arabia, but this is Monte Carlo, baby. Anything can go on what is one of the most difficult rallies of the year, one of the most unpredictable rallies of the year. I mean, we're not even, you can't even look at the weather yet because you're probably going to be wrong in the mountains. Let's go, Monte Carlo preview. And here we go. And this was, at the time of recording, last night. This is Seb Oje's very nice, I'm going to take M Sports Red Bull livery and cash away from them car. But yeah, as you can see here, it was a really nice night. I tell you what I thought was weird, though. The crowd weren't as into it as I thought. But I can assume there was a big crowd there. I'm assuming it was really, really badly mic'd up. Because also the camera work was a bit weird. It wasn't bad. We had a couple. I mean, we had music, we had celebrations, we had three very nice. I mean, yeah, I may be being a tad biased here, but these are the nicest liveried cars we've had since we started the channel. Bearing in mind we've only been here about 3 years talking about rallying, but still, nevertheless, it was a really nice opening. And here are those three cars. Which is your favourite? It's a really difficult because even Hyundai have levelled up in their livery, so to speak. And I love the fact that on the other side of the Hyundai, yes, you can't see it there, it has the Nürburgring, which is amazing. And the Toyota looks lovely. The M Sport has, mid-2000 vibes. I'm gonna hold fire on which one is actually my favourite. This was Taka Katsuta at the event, which I thought was quite interesting. Let's see what we had to say, shall we?
What are you most focused on improving?
And let's be fair, he's the one I think throughout the season that's argued, maybe him and Sammy, under the pressure the most coming into this season, and therefore coming into the Monte Carlo.
On this season, what do you want to improve on?
Yeah, of course, we have a very strong team and very, very...
So what do you want to improve on? He's a politician straight away, isn't it? We have a very strong team.
Best experienced driver next to me, two of drivers, and super young drivers other side, so I feels like a really sandwich at the moment, but yeah, for sure I am getting more experiences and some confidence, so try my best to more consistent and giving the speed and do my best every rallies. And yeah, of course, I'm not winning yet in any rallies. So.
And therein lies the big issue, I think, for Taka. I think he has to win this year or it could be over. And once again, I know I've slated him rally after rally sometimes, but he has the talent to win. He just makes too many mistakes, and I think this is a massive year for Taka Katsuta. A really big year and a really big Monte Carlo. You imagine he gets on the podium at the beginning of the year. That's going to absolutely set it up the whole year extremely nicely. So moving on from Taka, this is the class of 2026 at Monte Carlo. You can see there, even if you're a Grand Prix fan, you can pretty much recognise the background. There's the Hyundai. There is the beautiful they are looking lush, aren't they? M Sport. There is the special Seb Oje Red Bull Toyota. And yes, the WRC2 Lancia. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just getting really, really super excited. I really am. Adrian Fourmaux has come out with fighting talk saying our target is to win the rally. If there's one to win, it's this one. I guess it is. It's kind of like when you look at Formula One, the Monte Carlo Grand Prix. I think David Coulthard from F1 fame came out and said it's like in your own head like half a world championship if you end up winning that race. And I see what he means. It's a big deal. I think this one, there's a couple. I think Kenya's a massive deal as well. Because of where it is. But I think the Monte Carlo, I mean, it's the most famous rally in the world. So you could make an argument. It is the rally that everyone wants to win. And speaking of Monte Carlo, 22nd to the 25th of January, the 94th edition of rally, 94. I mean, 6 more years. 6 more years. Hopefully we're around for the centenary of the Monte Carlo rally. We got that. It's basically in the high altitude hub attitude of Gap. The rally remains the ultimate test of tactical cunning, where the king of the mountains, Seb OG, looks to defend his crown after what was a historic 10th victory in 2025. Is he going to maintain his crown? Well, this is the entry. So we have got Seb OG styling the number one, Elvin Evans. We've got Terry Neuville in the Hyundai, Taka Katsuta in the Toyota, Adrian Fourmaux in the Hyundai, Sami Piari in the Toyota, Oliver Solberg in the Rally 1 Toyota. 99 he's picked. Number 13, Gregor Monster. He is back, but we do believe this is going to be his only rally for this year. And next up is Hayden Paddon, his first WRC event for quite a while in the Hyundai. John Armstrong, his first as well for M Sport in the Rally 1 Cup. Do not forget the 2 Lanciers of Johan Russell, Nikolai Grayson in the WRC 2 cars. I absolutely can't wait. It's going to be really, it's just going to be so cool. So, moving on from it, this is the itinerary. Yes. So, it starts on Wednesday, but doesn't. But you got the shakedown at 1 minute past 2. This will be a local time. So, for example, if you're here in the UK where we're recording this, that's going to be 1 o'clock. On Thursday, we kick off. Right? At 2:30, we've got the official start. But then we've got SS1 at 4, then 6:30 or just 5 past 4. Then 6:35 SS2, and then 20:35 is SS3. We have three very exciting stages to begin the rally season and begin the Monte Carlo rally. But then the real action begins. The big day, the first big day, is on the Friday. We got the service, and then just after 9:04, it is all set to go with SS4, 5, and 6. Number 6 at 11:50, and then we have the break where they can fix the cars. I'm hoping they're not going to need too much fixing, but you never know. Munster, sorry. He did win his first stage here, though. I'm hoping, if this is his only rally, I'm gunning for him. I want him to do well. So then we restart again just after 3:15 or 15:16 SS7, SS8. And then at 6:05, we've got SS9, and then it ends. But I think the most exciting day, and we'll get into the reason why, is going to be Saturday, the 24th of January, 2026. Because 8:30, SS10, SS11. Okay, just the 2 stages. Then we got the service. And yes, it is a weird day, isn't it? It's a really smallish day. And SS12, 29.93 kilometers. Obviously a very long stage for a remote service. And then we have the Monaco Grand Prix circuit as SS13 at 2.69 kilometres. I absolutely cannot wait to see it. That's going to be so good on TV. Also, from me being an F1 fan and a rally fan, I am very excited about that. And then we get to Sunday, the last day, remote service. I know, it's only 4 stages on Saturday, isn't it? Weird. So SS14, 15 and 16 at 8, 8:05, 9:35 and 11:09 respectively, with at 1:15 the Wolf Power Stage ending the day in SS17. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. I'm really excited. Part of me is really glad there's 3 stages on the Thursday to kick off, but then it takes away, because Friday's the big day, it takes away from the Saturday bit, doesn't it? This was last year. And it was Seb OG that won from Elvin Evans by 18.5 seconds. You imagine if Elvin won this event? He would have been world champion. Evans, ever the bridesmaid. So Adrian Fourmaux finishing 3rd in his Hyundai. I mean, what an absolute amazing start. Kalle Rovanperä finishing 4th last year. This was the beginning of the struggle with those hand-cooked tyres, if you remember. Tanak, whereas he this year, sadly not around, finishing. And he was, 59 seconds down. And then we had the people that had big problems like Neuville, nearly 6 minutes down. Josh McAleen, I got that name right, thank goodness. 10 minutes, 15 seconds down, and then yourself, Grayson, now teammates. Gus Greensmith, Oliver Solberg, he had 19 minutes down, but to be fair to Oliver Solberg, he did have a problem at the beginning. I think on the Thursday, his car just stopped, which kind of sucked if you were Oliver Solberg or indeed an Oliver Solberg fan. But there we go. So let's get into this is the big one, our preview, our predictions for the Monte Carlo rally. And here we are. Welcome. As you can see, Monte Carlo's behind me, or is it? And we are getting into the predictions for the Monte Carlo rally. We what basically, if you're new, we kind of go for who we think is going to do the worst to who we think is going to do the best. Yes, I'm going to be a bit unfair. Is it a surprise? Josh, it's not. It's Josh's teammate, Gregor Munster, along with Louis Luca, his co-driver. Yeah, new cars for this year in the M Sport. Now, he did, though, win his first stage here, which I thought was really, really impressive. We are expecting mixed conditions where experience is also going to be key and not making mistakes. The sad thing is, Gregor Munster, he has shown flashes of speed here. The issue is he makes too many mistakes. That's why I think, is going to be finishing near the back. So next up, we then have Josh McAleen, who I think is going to be Munster. I think he didn't embarrass himself last year too much when we look at the season as a whole, and I think he'll do quite well. If I'm honest, I reckon he will do not too bad at all. And absolute minimum, he's going to want a beat Munster, but I think this guy here, sheer talent, more experience, and I think when you look at what John Armstrong, he nearly won the ERC Championship, for example, has done back. I mean, Team Island, yes, I'm expecting them to finish kind of like near the back, pending any disasters or anything funny, let's say, happening to any of the drivers in front, which, as we know, it's Monte Carlo. It's going to happen. We're going to get some DNFs. But I think Armstrong is going to be the best of the M Sport bunch, in spite of his lack of experience, for example, compared to McAleen and Munster in relation to racing that M Sport car and racing at Monte Carlo. So who is going to be, who's next up? Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Now, I'm going to be a bit unfair. I know this is not going to be very popular, but Sami Piari, he had an absolutely fantastic Saudi Arabia, just like Martin says. He nearly won it, but this is Monte Carlo. I think he's going to want to get off to a good start. But more importantly than that, and I think more importantly for Sami's start of the year and how he means to go on, I think he's going to absolutely need to have a mistake-free Monte Carlo, which means he may decide, okay, I'm not going to have the pace here. I'm going to be fairly sensible, not do anything silly. And then I mean, it's not really fair. He just may be outpaced by a few people. So next up, the man on the podium, and I think Adrian Fourmaux. Now, we're getting to the point now where you can probably swap a lot of people over. He finished third last year, didn't he? But I can't help but feel that it's going to be people like Nouvel that are going to have a massive reset. Not that I think Fourmaux is going to struggle. He's come out and said he wants to win. It would be amazing if he did take that first win. But the issue we had at the beginning of the year, in the Honda, and we saw flashes of speed. He was kind of like a better Takamoto Katsuta. We had flashes of speed, then some things went wrong, and he was also very unlucky when it came to reliability. And now, somewhat controversially, though, I've put Hayden Paddon ahead of Fourmaux. I think that if you had both put them in the ERC at the same year, I think Paddon would have beaten Adrian Fourmaux. Just, which is why I'm putting it here. Now, I appreciate, down to experience at Monte Carlo is key, and Paddon, hasn't had the most recent experience in the Hyundai as Fourmaux had. So, yeah, I'm just saying that based on previous experience, in terms of how good and how talented these are in a rally car, I think Paddon just snatches it a tiny bit. So next up, we've got Takamoto Katsuta. We are now in the top 5. So, I don't think I'm being too unfair to Paddon. I think like Sami Piari, Taka needs to survive the first couple of rallies. He needs to survive this, survive Sweden, survive Kenya, and basically not make a big mistake. And I think that's what he's going to do in Monte Carlo. I think he's looking at it and he's like, okay, I'm not going to make a big mistake. I just need to finish the rally. And he's obviously got an experienced co-driver in Scott Martin, who I think is very good at keeping him calm. I mean, what was it? One of the last shots, I think, we saw of Takamoto Katsuta was at the Saudi Arabia rally when his co-driver was basically putting his feet up against the windscreen, stopping it caving in after his roll. Brilliant. I mean, only in rally do you see that. So I think he'll do solid. Can he fight for the win? Yeah. I mean, this is potentially so open if the elements open up as well. Simply because tyre choice is going to be so key in this rally. So can Taka do it? Yeah, absolutely. He could get up there in the podium. Could he get his first win? Never say never. But I think he needs a bit of luck or things to go awry for the people that I believe are going to be ahead of him. And ahead of him is this guy here, Toyota's new signing. The man that won a rally last year. Taka didn't. PR didn't. But Solberg did. He kind of embarrassed everyone, didn't he, at that rally? And I think he'll do an absolutely solid job. Again, I think he won't make a mistake. He'll be very careful. But I do feel that Solberg, compared to Taka, when I've seen him in WRC too, yes, he makes... we all make mistakes, but I think his risk taking he's better at managing the risk than Taka, which is why I think he will fare better at Monte Carlo. He's got the experience there, albeit not in a Rally 1 car, which may could scupper him a bit. But there we go. So on to the podium and the 2024 winner and the 2024 world champion. I think he's going to be finishing third. So if we had Solberg just outside the podium, I think Thierry Neuville will be finishing third. He's very experienced here. He's with the Hyundai team. Now, I think the only reason why I'm not saying he's finishing second or first is not because of his skill. I think it's because of the Hyundai. They are still a bit of an unknown quantity, because when we look at last year, they were absolutely lost on car setup. They were lost when it came to car development as well. It was kind of sad. And I think a lot of it also had to do with the hand-cooked tyres. And this is going to be so key to get those correct tyres and managing the tyres for the whole of the rally and all those 17 stages. And the Hyundai, as we know, it is a bit sensitive. Let's say it's a bit. You need to be a bit more gentle. It's not as robust, for example, as the Toyota or even the M Sport 4 machine. And I think that's why I've put him in second. So, and speaking of second, forever the bridesmaid. Yes, he's going to be the bridesmaid, we predict, at the Monte Carlo. He's finished second here twice. Hey, why not make it a third time? As we know, things come in threes. And I think Elfyn Evans will be finishing. And then I just realised I've made a mistake on did I make a mistake on Katsuta? I don't know. Scott Martin. Scott Martin is not Katsuta's. Scott Martin is not Katsuta's co-driver. I've completely got that, so my apologies. I'm going to have to correct that for the next preview. But yeah, notice the obvious error. But Elfyn Evans. Let's talk about Elfyn Evans. He could win it. Absolutely he could. But the problem Elfyn Evans has is he's not Seb Ogier. And that's the issue we had last year. Which is why Seb Ogier, I think, is going to be our favourite to win the Monte Carlo Rally, simply because he's won it 10 times already. Why not another one? An 11th. Why not another one? Now, he didn't win it in 2024. It was Neuville that won it, but he had a lot on his mind, did he? There's a lot of personal problems we're going on, sadly, for Seb Ogier in 2024. But then he came back in 2025 and showed us all how amazing this guy is. One of the GOATs of rally. And he's still racing in Monte Carlo. All of them are absolutely amazing to watch. A lot of it is going to depend on the weather as well and how lucky they are. But like if it starts snowing halfway through a stage, for example, who gets the worst snow, etc. The rain. I mean, we'll probably do a weather forecast for the rally, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday, for example. But there we go. So Seb Ogier, I think is it's. You can't really bet against him, can you, to win the Monte Carlo Rally? You absolutely can't. He's won it. I keep saying, won it 10 times. Probably going to win it again, very likely. So let's just get our picks over with. So in order then of who we think best to worst, who's going to do that Monte Carlo Rally, it's Gregor Munster, followed by Josh McAleen, followed by Armstrong, the M Sport boys. Armstrong being the best of the M Sport boys. Then Piari. We've got Fourmaux. I know, slightly controversial. We're putting Padham in front of Fourmaux. I think that's just down to maybe that smidge more talent. We'll see. Katsuta just, I think, needs to survive. Ollie Solberg, again, needs to survive but not make a mistake. Next up, we've got Neuville in. We're predicting he's going to finish third with all that experience, but a slightly sensitive Hyundai. Next up, we've got Elfyn Evans and in second. He's finished second there the last couple of years and forever the bridesmaid. But it's going to be Seb Ogier, we predict, for his 11th win for the Monte Carlo Rally. So there we go. So, this is the hot lap. Let's make it back here. Let's then have a look at the beautiful that catsuit. Let's leave you, even though this is the WRC 1 preview, let's leave you with a beautiful lance here. It does look very sexy. It does look very sexy, doesn't it? So until then, we will speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Consider, if you made it to the end, giving us a subscribe. That'll be absolutely amazing. We're not worthy if you made it to the end. We'll speak to you soon. Stay safe, but above all else, stay sideways.